Counterpoint, the general knowledge music quiz, chaired by Paul Gambaccini.
Hello! A warm welcome to the Radio Theatre in London, where the College of Musical Knowledge convenes once again. Our trio of music lovers will be trying to demonstrate the breadth of knowledge necessary to carry them into the next stage of the 2019 tournament. We'll play them some great music along the way. Let's meet them.
Hello, I'm BRAY. I'm a writer from Hastings.
Hi, I'm Jessica Brown. I'm a physics PhD student from Exeter.
Hello, I'm Alan Franklin. I'm a retired librarian from Fulham.
Alan has been a Counterpoint finalist in the past, but the other two are new to the game. The very best of luck to you all. In the opening round, we're going to test your musical general knowledge with 2 points for a correct answer and 1 point if you pick up someone else's question. It's always worth a guess if you're not sure of the answer. Lucky guesses have secured victory for many a contestant down the years. We go round in alphabetical surname order, and it's BRAY who gets the first question today. Can you name the dance troupe that's missing from this list? The Go-Joes, Pan's People, Ruby Flipper, Zoo.
Legs and Co.
That's right. The resident ensembles on Top of the Pops. Jessica Brown, for your first musical clip, here's a British choir's take on the 1980s pop hit A Little Respect. 2 points are up for grabs if you can tell me who the famous choir master is and who recorded the song originally.
Is it the Military Wives Choir?
Well, I asked who the choir master is.
Oh, choir master, Gareth Malone.
Correct.
And is it Aretha Franklin? Did it originally?
Oh, no. She had a lot of respect. This is A Little Respect.
Oh.
And BRAY says...
Erasure.
That's right. Jessica gets 1 point, and Philip gets 1 point. Alan Franklin, who is no relation to Aretha Franklin. This year, Daniel Hyde will succeed Stephen Cleabery as Director of Music at which British college globally renowned for its choral music?
King's College, Cambridge.
That is correct. BRAY, here's a song from a classic musical with music and lyrics by Cole Porter. Ann Miller is feeling the heat, but what's the show?
It's too darn hot. It's too darn hot. I'd like to sup with my baby tonight. Refill the cup with my baby tonight.
Crazy, man!
I'd like to sup with my baby tonight. Refill the cup with my baby tonight. But I ain't up to my baby tonight, 'cause it's too darn hot.
Yeah.
It's too darn...
Kiss Me Kate.
That's right, Too Darn Hot from Kiss Me Kate. Jessica Brown, which hymn am I describing? Probably the hymn of the Reformation. Its words and melody were written by Martin Luther, loosely adapting the words of Psalm 46. Bach used an arrangement of it in his cantata number 80, written for Reformation Day.
I'm afraid I don't know.
And does anyone wish to pick that up? A mighty fortress is our God. Alan Franklin, for your next extract, you're going to hear the opening of a tone poem dating from 1914, depicting nymphs in Greek mythology frolicking in the ocean. Can you tell me who wrote it?
Sibelius.
Yes.
Was it?
Nice guess. 2 points. We heard the Oceanides. Philip Bray, back to you. Several foodstuffs enjoyed today take their inspiration from major classical artists. Recipes exist for Caruso sauce, Paganini's ravioli, Jenny Lind melon, and of course peach melba, named after Dame Nellie. For 2 points, can you tell me which French composer has given his name to a dish of soft-boiled eggs, elevated by the addition of croustade, Duchess potatoes, truffles, and mushrooms in a Madeira sauce?
Bizet.
I'm sorry, it's not. Can anyone else tell me who that composer is? Alan Franklin?
Berlioz.
Yes! I described... Alan Franklin, you are the gourmet of our panel. I gave you the recipe for eggs Berlioz. I believe it tastes fantastique. Jessica Brown. More music now. Here's Ariana Grande joining forces with a legendary soul star to perform the song Faith. When you've heard it, I'd like you to tell me his name.
I think it's Stevie Wonder.
You think right. Stevie Wonder for 2 points. The song Faith was written for the soundtrack of the animated musical film Sing. Alan Franklin, which Italian composer wrote an oratorio on the life of John the Baptist at around the age of 11, and more than 50 years later won an Oscar for Best Original Score for The Godfather Part 2?
Nino Rota.
Nino Rota it is for 2 points. Philip Bray. The 2012 album Boys Don't Cry by the British singer Rumour is a selection of covers of songs mainly written in the 1970s. We're about to hear Home Thoughts from Abroad, which was originally written and recorded by a Worcestershire-born singer, paying homage to a 19th century English poet. After you've heard it, can you name both the original singer-songwriter and the poet?
How is Worcestershire? Is it still the same between us? Do you still use television to send you fast asleep? Can you last another week? Does the cistern still leak? Or have you found a man to mend it? Oh, and by the way, how's your broken heart? Is that mended too? I miss you, I miss you.
A guess, Donovan and A.E. Houseman.
Those were 2 wrong guesses, I'm afraid. So, the question for our other 2 is, who was the original artist and who's the poet being paid homage? The original artist was Clifford T. Ward, and the poet was Robert Browning. Jessica Brown. Staying with music inspired by poets, Benjamin Britten's choral work of 1965, Voices for Today, included words taken from the works of Virgil, Tennyson, and Herman Melville. It was commissioned as a celebration of the 20th anniversary of which international organization?
Is it NATO?
I'm sorry, it was not NATO. Alan Franklin says?
United Nations.
And he's right for the bonus point. And here's your own question. A song which has become closely associated with Tina Turner, but was written by John Fogerty for his band, who very nearly took it to the top of the U.S. charts in 1969. Can you name this band?
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yes, Creedence Clearwater Revival with the original version of Proud Mary. And that means the scores at the end of the opening round are: in third place with 3 points, Jessica Brown. Lying second with 5 points is Philip Bray. And in the lead with 10 points, Alan Franklin. Those scores matter because it's time for the second round, in which our competitors pick a special subject on which to answer their own individual questions. They'll get their choice in the order of their scores so far. The list of topics I'm about to give them is coming as a complete surprise. They've had no chance to prepare. Are you ready? Today's choices are fire and ice, Handel operas and oratorios, a literary anthology, rock goes classical, and soul and disco divas. You get the first choice, Alan Franklin. What would you like?
Rock goes classical.
Rock goes classical. Philip Bray, your choice is?
A bit of disco, please.
You'll do the soul and disco divas. And that leaves 3 for Jessica, and they are Fire and Ice, Handel operas and oratorios, and a literary anthology.
I'm going to go with Fire and Ice.
We start with the contestant lying third. That is Jessica Brown, and you have chosen Fire and Ice. Which group wrote and recorded the song Light My Fire in 1967? Come on, baby.
Was that a clue?
Sorry?
Was that a clue?
I think the audience thinks it's a...
Oh, I don't know.
It is Light My Fire by The Doors.
Okay.
It was number 1 on the Billboard charts for 3 weeks. Part of a symphony depicting a spectacular ice fall. Which symphony is it?
Oh, I've got no idea, I'm afraid.
That was from Sinfonia Antarctica by Vaughan Williams, also known as Symphony No. 7. In 1967, Harrison Birtwistle co-founded the instrumental ensemble The Perot Players, later known as the Fires of London. With which late composer, a former master of the Queen's music, did he found the ensemble?
I don't know that one either.
And it's Sir Peter Maxwell Davies. Okay. Here's part of a lyric from a Rodgers and Hammerstein song, which is relevant to this round. You just have to name the show it comes from.
Poor Johnny's dead, our candle lights his head. He's looking oh so pretty and so nice. He looks like he's asleep. It's a shame that he won't keep. But it's summer and we're running out of ice. Poor John.
I'm beginning to think I should have gone with Handel.
Actually, that was Gordon McCrae and Rod Steiger performing Poor Judd is Dead from Oklahoma. Okay. What's the stage name of Robert Van Winkle, who reached number 1 in 1990 with Ice Ice Baby?
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice is right. Yay! For 2 points. From ice back to fire, and some magic fire, no less, which Wagner opera ends like this.
Tristan and Isolde.
I'm afraid it's Die Valkyrie,
Oh, I was going to go with
the
that.
Valkyrie. Your final question on Fire and Ice. Which singer is the subject of the jukebox musical Ring of Fire?
Oh, I don't know.
It's Johnny Cash. And I'm afraid you fell into a ring of fire on that one. Jessica Brown, you scored 2 points in that round, added to your previous 3. You now have 5 points. Philip Bray, here are your questions on soul and disco divas. How was Whitney Houston related to Dionne Warwick?
Her aunt.
Think about it.
Oh,
well, it's
Dionne
too
Warwick
late.
is her aunt, yeah.
It's too late. Whitney Houston is younger than Dionne Warwick. She couldn't be her aunt. They were cousins. It was Whitney's mother, Cissy Houston, who was Dionne's aunt. But Whitney and Dionne were cousins. In March 2019, Diana Ross celebrated her 75th birthday. In this extract from a recent Radio 2 series, the producer of her acclaimed 1980 album, Diana, describes the origin of the song I'm Coming Out. It was inspired by his nightclub encounter with a group of male Diana Ross impersonators. After you've heard the clip, I'd like you to give me his name along with the lyricist he's referring to.
If we write a song called I'm Coming Out, it's going to be to the gay community, like the black communities, like James Brown, Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud. I says, but we got to get the song right, but that's the title. And he said, oh, okay, cool, I can get with it. Nothing was better than having reality speak to me. I would have never thought of I'm Coming Out. I would have never thought of Diana Ross's alignment with the gay community or the gay community with her.
It's Nile Rodgers. I don't know who the
It is Nile Rodgers. And who was the lyricist and partner?
I don't know, sorry.
Bernard Edwards. And they were the two masterminds behind Chic. Which late soul legend became the first woman to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987?
Aretha Franklin.
That's right. More music. You're about to hear Got to Be Real, a classic disco tune originally released in 1978. It was co-written by David Paich and David Foster, along with the song's performer. After you've heard it, I'd like you to tell me her name.
Jocelyn Brown?
Oh, I'm sorry, it wasn't Jocelyn Brown. It was Cheryl Lynn. In the mid-'80s, the Communards entered the singles chart with 2 cover versions of songs which had been hits in the 70s for disco divas Thelma Houston and Gloria Gaynor. Can you name the songs?
Don't Leave Me This Way, and I don't know the other.
Don't Leave Me This Way gives you 1 point. The other was Never Can Say Goodbye. Your final music clip features Donna Summer. When you've heard her, a question will follow.
So let's dance, let's dance, let's dance, let's dance, let's dance, let's dance tonight. Let's dance for love. Yes, it's my last dance, romance tonight. Oh, I need you by me, beside me.
Donna Summer performed Last Dance as part of her acting debut, playing Nicole Sims, in which 1978 disco-themed film?
Car Wash.
No. It was Thank God It's Friday. The song won an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for Best Original Song. Your final question in this round concerns a performer often referred to as the Empress of Soul, Gladys Knight, who, along with Diana Ross, celebrates her 75th birthday this year. One of Gladys's most famous tunes, with her backing group, the Pips, is Midnight Train to Georgia. However, the song was originally written with a different title by country music artist Jim Weatherly. What was it called?
I don't know.
It was originally called Midnight Plane to Houston. And Gladys thought, well, we're from Georgia, so let's call it Midnight Train to Georgia. And so, Philip Bray, in that round you scored 4 points. Added to your previous 5 points, you now have 9 points. Alan Franklin, rock goes classical. In 1956, Chuck Berry teased classical music, asking Beethoven to roll over and tell Tchaikovsky the news. However, in 1973, a new recording of Roll Over Beethoven saw an English band incorporate the composer's music into their version. Who were they?
Yellow.
That's right, the Electric Light Orchestra for 2 points. Staying in the 70s, the prog rock band Emerson, Lake and Palmer dipped into classical influences to play tribute to Mussorgsky on their 1971 live album Pictures at an Exhibition. Later in that decade, they acknowledged another major work by an American composer. For 2 points, I'd like you to tell me his name along with the title of the music featured here.
That's Fanfare for the Common Man by Aaron Copland.
You get both points. Oh, he's a moody old man, Song of Summer in his hand, are the opening lyrics to a Kate Bush track which celebrates a Yorkshire-born composer. Who is he?
Delius.
That is right. The song Delius appeared on her album Never Forever. More music. The following group, originally formed in New York in 1967, are still touring today after many personnel changes. Here they are from 1968 with variations on a theme by Erik Satie, adapted from that composer's Troisième Nobody. When you've heard it, I'd like you to name the band.
No, don't know.
The band is Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Improbable as it may seem, Gary Barlow borrowed a trumpet fanfare from Verdi's Requiem to kick off a popular Take That song from 1995. Which one?
No.
Never Forget. And you'll never forget it now. Here's a Singapore-born British violinist who's enjoyed substantial crossover success. In 2006, she topped the Sunday Times Rich List as the wealthiest young entertainer in the UK. When you've heard her modern take on Bach's Toccata and Fugue in D minor, I'd like you to give me her name.
No, it's gone.
That was Vanessa Mae. Your final question in this round. That piece we've just heard also provided a hit for the instrumental rock group Sky in 1980. Can you name any 2 members of Sky's original and best-known lineup?
John Williams and Herbie Flowers.
Correct. John Williams guitar, Herbie Flowers bass. You could also have said Kevin Peake guitar, Tristan Fry drums, Francis Monkman keyboards. And Alan Franklin, in that round you scored 8 points. Added to your previous 10, you now have 18 points. And so the scores after the individual round are as follows. In third place with 5 points is Jessica Brown, lying second with 9 points, Philip Bray, and our leader with just 1 round to go with 18 points, Alan Franklin. It's on the button in the quick-fire final round. Things can change quickly. A correct answer wins you 1 point, but you lose a point if you flash in and fail to answer correctly. There are no bonuses. Fingers poised. Here we go. Which Frankie Goes to Hollywood single was banned? Philip Bray?
Relax.
Correct. Premiered in 1957, which composer's only full-length ballet score was The Prince of the Pagodas? Philip?
Benjamin Britten.
Yes. Which former member of S Club 7 took part in Strictly Come Dancing in 2008? And Philip says?
Rachel Stevens.
He's on a roll. Marie Goossens and Sidonie Goossens were both talented players of which instrument? And Alan Franklin says?
Oboe?
No, -1. It's harp. Which British rock band's studio albums include Islands, Lizard, and Lark's Tongues in Aspic? Alan Franklin says?
King Crimson?
That is correct. Which reunion show toured the UK in 2019 with Valerie Landsberg, Lee Carreri, and Philip Bray says?
Kids from Fame.
He's right. The Alan Ayckbourn play, A Chorus of Disapproval, is centered on a performance of which and Philip says?
Beggar's Opera.
Yes. The theme for which long-running BBC sports program was composed in 1970 by Barry Stoller? Jessica Brown says?
Ski Sunday.
Oh, no, it's Match of the Day. In 1910, Friedrich Kark became the first conductor to record a whole symphony. Which one was it? And Alan says?
Beethoven's Fifth.
Oh, what a good guess. It is Beethoven's Fifth. Lungs, released in 2009, and Jessica says?
Florence and the Machine.
You've got it. Cole Porter's last stage musical, Silk Stockings, was based on the plot of which Greta Garbo film? Silk Stockings was based on the Greta Garbo film Ninotchka. Marion Cotillard took on the role of Edith Piaf, and Philip says?
I was going to say Edith Piaf.
Well, that really is -1. The answer was La Vie en Rose. The Song of Destiny and the German Requiem are choral works, and Alan says?
Brahms.
And he gets the point. Which Disney film features the songs Part of Your World and Jessica says?
The Little Mermaid.
She's got it. Which singer's 7th album, Lover, and Jessica says?
Taylor Swift.
She's right. Which Sibelius symphony famously ends with 6 staggered, and Alan says?
The Fifth.
That's right. The last word was chords, by the way. And finally, which prominent British singer was declared Baron of Sealand, an independent state housing an oil rig off the coast of East Anglia? Who is the Baron of Sealand? It is Ed Sheeran, whom you may now address as Baron Sheeran. At the end of today's Heat of Counterpoint, the final scores are third with 7 points, Jessica Brown, runner-up with 13 points, Philip Bray, and our winner with 21 points, Alan Franklin. Many congratulations, Alan Franklin. We'll be meeting you again in the semifinals in a few weeks' time. And thanks to the other two, it was a great contest, and we hope you'll come back and have another go in a future series. We'll be in the north of England next week, where 3 more music lovers will be playing Counterpoint. Until then, goodbye.